We're going to take this problem as a review warm-up of the last section, so hopefully you have had a chance to try this, and now maybe we can just check our answers. I actually took it from the last part of the notes from last class and thought maybe it would be good just to start with that and a good little review problem here. So we have function f. So this graph right here is function f, and it gives the depth in inches of water in a tub as a function of time in minutes. So we essentially have the graph of the function f of t, depth of water, as a function of the time in minutes. Okay, so let's answer some questions related to that. Each point on the graph has the coordinates t, f of t. And remember, that's essentially like x comma y, where the first value is the input of the function, the second value is the output of the function. What does the point 2, 5 represent? So what does this point up here, right here, 2, 5 represent? So we got 2, and then we've got 5. So at 2 minutes, then we have 5 inches of water. So after 2 minutes of water draining, the depth is 5 inches of water. So that's literally what that would mean. All right, complete the following statements then. So f of 2, well, if we think about that, that means just what we were just talking about. F of 2, so that would be the input right there. Input is the x value, so that would be 2 minutes. So f of 2, we know the input of 2 gives us an output of 5. So f of 2 equals 5. It's as simple as that. F of 4, okay, so 4 is the input, 4 is the time in minutes, so at 4 minutes, let's follow it up. So there would be the output, so that would be also 4. 4 inches though, 4 minutes, 4 inches. And then f of 0, so it's 0 minutes, the input. So that's sort of like our beginning amount of water, which would be right here at 6 inches. So f of 0 equals 6. We kind of just talked about that, but what's the meaning of f of 0? So at 0 minutes, the water depth was 6 inches. Now you might also think of that as the starting depth, because that's right at the beginning at 0 minutes. The starting depth was 6 inches of water. So we could think of that in both of those ways. All right, and finally, if f of t equals 3, what does that represent in this problem? What would be the value of t? So in this case, we don't know the time, but we know the depth. So we're wondering at what time is the depth 3 inches? All right, and so let's go up to our graph and say, okay, at what time was the depth 3 inches? So 3 inches, I'm going to switch to a different color here. So 3 inches, all right, so if we kind of follow that over, we see right there. So if we're working backwards, then that would mean that that is at 6 minutes. So in other words, the point 6 minutes, it was at 3 inches. So at 6 minutes, depth was 3 inches. Okay, so we can represent that as f of 6 minutes equals 3 inches. So when the time was 6, the depth was 3.